Hi folks, and thanks for joining me again on another pest control outing. Back out after the grey squirrel again. As always, you get your warning. I'm back out with my trusty Daystate Huntsman Classic in 2.2, topped off with the MTC Mambolite scope. I'd only got set up and I heard a squirrel above me in the tree, so I clicked the camera on, but he didn't come down. And no sooner had I switched it off, another squirrel, or the same one, comes in. He gets down onto the shelf before I get even my gun sorted out, so I get the camera back on quickly. And I managed to get the magazine into the gun and get it loaded up. I'm doing this while the squirrel is happily feeding away, so there's no rush needed, just a bit of patience. Get the gun sorted properly and then wait for the squirrel to sit up and present with a good shot. Level the crosshairs over just above his eye and squeeze the trigger when you're ready. You know he's in a position to be shot, and that was him taking a nice good clean headshot. There's the scope cam above his eye, straight through the brain, and a perfect impact. Down on the ground he goes. He did give a couple of twitches, and I use my main camera now to zoom in on him, just to get a better look at him. You see the back legs twitching there, just to make sure that the squirrel's not breathing or doing anything that might mean that the shot wasn't good. But from the impact and the reaction of the squirrel, I was very happy with the shot. So I'll have a quick zoom in and have a look at him, and you can see straight away that he's not breathing. And I got that tip from watching the Squirrel Hunter channel. Fantastic channel. Picked up a lot of tips up from them. And sometimes you can't see from where you're sitting if the squirrel is breathing or not, so zooming in with the camera like that is a great idea. So I had a bit of a wait, so I was feeding on a bit of wildlife, a few birds coming in to get a bit of breakfast in the morning. I have seen pheasants at this before, and when I was topping up with feeders, I came up one evening, there was a badger on it. Those birds can get out of there pretty quickly, so I have a quick look over the top of the camera and realise that another squirrel has come in. See him there when I get the camera settled. He's having a bit of look around. He's walked by the first squirrel on the ground without paying it too much notice, and he's having a bit of a rummage around on the ground there. So I'm going to get myself ready, getting the gun ready, having a look at him to see what he's doing on the ground. Is he feeding? Is he going to present a good shot? So I'm kind of pretty happy that he's not put off by the other squirrel or anything else around him. I get the camera zoomed in a bit and do a bit more filming. I kind of try and what I like to do is wait until they get up onto the shelf there, the feeding shelf, and they're in a feeding pattern where you can see them eating. They go for another peanut or another bit of wheat or whatever you're feeding them, and then you can take the shot, because they stay still long enough then. Whereas if they're on the ground and they're feeding or they're rummaging around, or like this one came down, had a bit of a rummage around, there was no way I could get a shot at him because his head was moving all the time. So there's no point, I wouldn't take a shot anyway. So he comes over and has a go at the one on the ground and goes up the tree. And I'm thinking he's going to end up on the shelf there any second. He comes across. So I'll get myself settled, and you can see he's not worried about anything. Hasn't seen me and the squirrel on the ground, certainly hasn't put him off. So, and that's a perfect position there to take a shot straight in the head. And see where the crosshairs are now. Straight through the brain, and down he goes on the ground. And that's the second one down on the ground for the morning already, which is great. That's something that I try and do all the time, is get a good clean headshot. It's a pest control job I'm doing. I'm trying to cut down the numbers of the greys as best I can. So have a quick look in with the camera and see if he's breathing, and he's not. That was a good clinical headshot. We have another one coming down, number 3 there, coming down the back of the tree. In the middle of the picture there. I didn't have to wait too long after the first one was. After the second one arrived, there was a bit of a wait between the first and second one. So this one is a bit more, or much more wary than the second one that came in. Climbs back up the tree there and spends a bit of time looking around. Jumps one tree to the next, comes down. I'm thinking he's gonna go onto the shelf or the top of the feeder and have a look, but you see him at the back there. He's crawling around in the tree. He's not too sure what he wants to do. He comes in on the top, has a look, and a lot of them will do that. They'll make their way to the top of the feeder and stay off the ground if there's ones on the floor, and have a look at them. He's sitting there and he's down onto the shelf. The second one comes into view there, coming down the tree here on the right. And to be honest, I actually didn't see that one until kind of now. I kind of see him come across the floor in front of me. So I take that one off the shelf. That's feeding there. How he presents the easy shot. I'm going to have a quick look and see the one running up the tree beside me, but it doesn't hang around. It doesn't present me with a shot. There's a good look. He's not going to move his head now. That's where you want to be taking your shot. Perfectly still. The other one runs up the tree to the right, up to the top of the tree, up across. They move so quickly, it's unbelievable. I literally saw him run up, lost sight of him, and saw the tree tops moving as he went away. So another one makes it to his feet, or even before I get the camera on him. Comes straight in from the back, straight up. Not bothered by the one. At this point there's none on the ground. I had been out and picked the tree up because I had shot a rabbit in. The rabbit was putting the other squirrels coming in off, so I went out and collected the whole lot of them. So that's why this one came in so quickly. Nothing on the ground to put him off. And he's feeding away. I'm just sitting and watching, and I know he's more interested in food than anything else that's going on around him, so I'm not in any rush to take a shot. I'm just waiting for the perfect opportunity for him to sit still, hold himself while he's eating, and take a nice good clean headshot. I'd rather not take a shot, to be honest, but I get this one and down it goes. A few little kicks on the floor. And that's something else that I've noticed from shooting squirrels now and watching other videos, is sometimes you'll get a good clean impact like that. They fall on the floor, twitch around like that. Other times you'll get the same impact, the same noise. You'll look back at it on your video footage and you'll say that the pellet went exactly where you were aiming. Yet they jump around the place an awful lot, and it can be very off-putting. But that's why I like to zoom in and have a look and make sure they're not breathing. But as I say, if you're in any doubt of your shot, just get out and follow it up with a second one. But that was a good clean headshot. And down he went. And those type of headshots are very good when they're facing on at you. That was actually the second squirrel. I didn't get the main camera on for him, and I managed to take him with a good clean headshot. But those where they're facing you, the pellet goes into the skull, through the brain and down to the body. So that's 2 down, so that's 5 at the moment, and a rabbit. I'll put the rabbit footage in at the end. So I have a squirrel coming down the back of the feed tree at the far tree there. I can see him, so I'll switch the camera on. And he comes in. And I go a few squirrels. Most of them that come to the feed are coming from the back there. That's where the forestry is. I'm right kind of on the edge of it, with a wall running behind me. I see two squirrels here now, so they want the back, and there is one to the right coming into the picture, just behind the trees there. So I'm thinking if they both come in together, I could have a bit of a scrap on. See which one is the dominant one. But I'm concentrating on the one in front of me that I can see. I see the second one coming in there as well. So I was expecting the first one in the middle there to come in and go up to the feeder, but the second one actually beats him to the punch. So I was thinking this is going to be interesting. What's going to happen here now? Who's going to chase who off? So the one on the base of the tree. I was having a good look at the one on the floor. On the floor doesn't seem to be bothered at all. I was hoping that the one on the tree would go straight up to the feeder and try and get some food first. That would have presented me with a great shot. So you see the one on the right there is having a look at the dead squirrels. On the left is wandered off and doing a bit of foraging on the floor. And I think that's one of the things I'll do with the feeders in future, is I'll put a little lid on the food tray so that only squirrels can get in, get out, get the food out. When I came here, I had ran out of peanuts, but I had loads of wheat, so I used wheat, and the floor is covered in wheat from the birds flicking it out of the tray and falling on the floor. So I found that the squirrels are tend to spend a good bit of time on the floor, rummaging around for the wheat, whereas the peanuts generally didn't happen too much. But you see the squirrel on the floor, I'm actually looking at that one on the floor, haven't realised the one has gone up onto the feed shelf and is actually sitting there presenting a great shot, eating away. Eventually I realised that squirrel has gone up there, but I have the scope cam flicked on and I'm looking at the one on the floor, so I said, oh, there we go. So I get to move the main camera. I'm kind of a bit surprised that the two of them haven't fought each other and chased each other off, but I managed to take him with a good headshot. And you'll see the other one is gone out of the picture there, but ran off to the right. So that's a good headshot there. Clinically, down he goes. And I'm looking over the top of the camera to see where the second one has gone. But that one doesn't come anywhere near for a shot, so it's gone. So get another squirrel coming in. I get the camera on and it's coming in from the back there. Now I left this one. This is kind of a bit of a long scene, but I left it. I haven't trimmed too much of the scene itself. I said I'll show you what sometimes happens, and the patience you kind of have to have. So this one comes in and is either very wary of the ones on the floor, whether he gets a scent off them or one of them has chased him off previously, or every time he comes here to this feeder, squirrels chase him off. I don't know, but something has put him off, and he gets up the tree, tail shaking, giving out, goes up the tree, and I find they seem to prefer to go up the tree to have a look around. They feel obviously feeling an awful lot safer up a tree than on the floor where they can be attacked by anything. But this one comes in and goes up the tree. I do actually move the camera up the tree in a few minutes. I actually remember to, but sometimes when you're out and you're shooting, the camera work kind of comes an afterthought sometimes. So I'm looking up the tree just to see what he's doing. I'm also having a quick look around on the ground out in front of me to see maybe if there's anything else out there that's scaring him off. I have been sitting here before and squirrels have come in, stayed in the treetops, giving out, and looking around going, what's going on? And next minute, out of nowhere, Mr. Fox comes out and walks through, has a bit of a sniff, and then keeps going. So on this occasion I don't see anything, so I'm wondering to myself what's going on. but he's up there giving out, and he's maybe, I'm thinking now, maybe he's just not hungry. But if he wasn't that hungry, I don't think he'd be hanging around if something was annoying him as much as it is. So eventually, yep, he comes back down the tree. I'm thinking to myself, this looking good. And get the gun ready. Does he use he going up or going down to the floor? And down to the floor he comes. No, not happy. I'm going back up the tree. Having a look. And I think, you know, maybe there could be people out there saying, you know, there he is, stood still on the side of the tree. That's a great time to take a shot. I actually had the scope cam footage. I had the scope cam turned on, looking at him, and his head was moving left, right, up, down, twitching. And there's no way you would take a shot, or I would take a shot. It's not good. If you're going out to shoot something, a good clean kill is what I go for all the time. If I don't think I can achieve that, I don't take a shot. Sometimes, even when you do take a good shot and you feel like you've taken a good shot, you do end up wounding animals. But I'd rather seriously wound an animal and then be able to go out and finish it off cleanly and quickly than miss or wounding it and seeing the animal run off and not being able to follow up with a shot, knowing that, you know, that was only down to me. So unless I'm very, very happy with the shot, I don't take it. But as you can see here, a magpie comes in, and the squirrel is just to the right of the screen here, and I'm looking at the squirrel. There's a tree there, and he's just to the right. I can see his back and I can see his tail, and I'm expecting him any second now to come running in here like a train and scare that magpie off. But that doesn't happen. So I said I'll do a bit of video on the magpie. I know the squirrel is there, and I'm just waiting for him either to move into shot. He's actually he's sitting there froze looking at this magpie. Now the magpie saunters around and has a peck at a couple of squirrels on the ground. And it'll just go to show you, I'm sitting 20 yards away from this feeder in a pop-up hide that I had in one of my previous videos. And that magpie, who are the wariest birds, I'm moving the camera now, as you can see obviously, hasn't flown off. So it just goes to show you how important or how good these pop-up hides are, but more importantly how important it is to get something like that you can sit into or sit in behind and they won't see you. So you can see the squirrel there, comes out to the right. I managed to get the video camera onto him. So I've kind of gone into video recording mode here, trying to get good shots to show you what's happening. But this hasn't been trimmed down very little. In fact, if at all, I've trimmed the clip down, and I'm literally sitting here waiting for this. I'm watching him. I'm waiting for him to present a good shot. So he has a bit of a look. I think at this stage the magpie is kind of moving. You'll see now in a second the magpie actually comes into this shot. The squirrel moves up. The two trees lying down, or the two branches lying down behind the squirrel, are the ones leading up to the squirrel feeder. I actually had them up on the squirrel feeder, but something knocked them down. I reckon it was a badger when I had the peanuts in it. So managed to get some good footage anyway. I'm rummaging around, having a look. I still don't know what put him off the first time. Maybe it was the squirrels on the ground that put him off from coming running in immediately. I suppose this time of the year you're getting a lot of juveniles, and the older squirrels, the more dominant ones, obviously are chasing them off, so they're a bit wary coming in. But this one is particularly wary, or I suppose a lot of people are out there probably saying very frustrating, but this is what you have to do sometimes. You just have to wait and be patient. And you see the magpie there, it was the same when I was at the feeder. He's had nothing, off he goes. The squirrel has a rummage around, he moves back to the left, and I'm thinking, keep going, keep going, keep going. The feeder is just there, keep going. He's having a bit of a scratch, a bit of a poke about, a bit of a sniff. I'm thinking, here we go. And he's just at the base of the feeder now, and I'm saying, keep going, up you go. And I'm preparing myself for him to get up onto the side shelf. What's he do? Not having any of that. And back down he goes. And now he decides that he's interested in the dead ones on the ground. He gets down close enough, has a bit of a sniff. Comes all the way around. There's a... so agile, as you can see from the other footage. He comes down. He's tempting, he's stretching over to have a little sniff and see who it is. So I have to, at this point I have to kind of have the squirrel or I have the rifle ready to go in case he decides that he's going back up. But I'm thinking to myself that he mightn't be that hungry, and that's why. So he goes to the first and the second one, and there's one just there in front of him. He goes down and has a sniff of that one as well. Doesn't get too close to them. Gets up close to that one, and off he goes up the tree. And I'm thinking, here we go. Nope, up to the top of the feeder. Bit of a scratch. Bit of a look around. Not in any rush. And then eventually he gets down onto the feeding shelf. And I know what everyone is thinking, after all that, Irish hunter goes and misses him. Well, thankfully I didn't. And he settles down, and I managed to get the crosshairs on him and take him with a shot. You'll see his reaction there. The headshot was good and clean with a good thump, and you can see his legs going. So that's just another different reaction than the last view. Straight into the brain, straight through. Actually leaves a mark in the feeder on the far side, and down it goes. But you see in the reaction of the feet kicking extremely quickly. You can see him on the ground there. He's still kicking and kicking. But I know from that reaction that's another reaction from a good headshot, and they will do that. It's where you get a reaction and you have a look at them and you can still see them breathing, or they're trying to pick their heads up as if they want to pick their head up and run. Then you know you've missed. But that was a good clean headshot, just a different reaction from the other ones that I shot this morning. So here's the rabbit that I got after the third squirrel this morning. Didn't get the main camera on because he kind of running in and out of nowhere, caught me by surprise. Got the gun up. I didn't have the gun loaded, so I managed to reload the gun. The rabbit hears it, kind of perks his head up, stops for just long enough, and headshot. There we go. Oh, you see the blood coming out of it. Oh, a good solid headshot, and a great rabbit for the pot, because I love rabbit. A nice recipe that my father does with the rabbits is absolutely first class. So that's where that rabbit went, up to the fathers, and so that's what I finished up with for the day. 8 squirrels and a rabbit. So thanks for watching, and I'll try and get more up as soon as I possibly can. Thank you.